I'm really curious about what is your approach when you're starting a project in the beginning process of editing? Like, what is your first thoughts, questions, concerns?
Communication. I chat with the director. I want to get into their head as much as I can. A lot of editors will approach a role and they want to be as objective as they can. In my ethos, I try and be the right hand of the director. So I want to speak with this individual and learn what movie they want to make. So when I start looking at the material and I start watching dailies that are coming in, I want to kind of have an idea of what this director was going for in the first place. I think about character. I think about point of view. I think about the intended emotion I want the audience to, or I think the director wants the audience to have in this scene, and think about the little small components, because you could be working on something that's a 60-day shoot, and you are working on something that's very small, and so thinking about how does that affect the movie as a whole? What is the greater cause and effect of this scene?
Yeah, so I guess my follow-up question was going to be, how are you gauging what's crucial when you're in collaboration with the director when you have the final cut? How are you gauging what we need, what we don't need?
Yeah, so ascertaining what you need and what you don't need is a bit of a process. That's not something we know right off the bat, and I think that's one of the mysterious and wonderful things about my job when you're editing the film, is that you have to trust the process. It can take the course of weeks or months for a film to find the right wavelength, for a film to kind of tell you through the process of watching and editing and engaging with test screenings to find the material that is really paying off for an audience, the stuff that is setting something up appropriately, or something that may be a little extra, something that might be filler, something that might be confusing. That's not something you know right off the bat. That's something that you have to engage with trusted colleagues, talking with them about the movie, and discover. Yeah.
How involved are you during the meat of the production? Are you on set every day? Or?
So during production depends on the director. Sometimes I am invited to set. Sometimes I am editing right next to set. I did a film a few years ago called Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage, and my office was right next to set. And so there was a scene where he was screaming all day, and he literally 2 feet away from me through a wall, and I have headphones on, and I'm hearing everything right there. Some movies are just like that. This was a film I came on after they had shot the film. They had shot the film in the UK, and I'm editing out of my garage in Alhambra in California.
I'm sure being hands-on helps a lot in the editing process because you have a better idea of the vibes.
Being hands-on is very helpful, but I would argue it's probably because you're there with the director. You're there to talk with them on a daily basis, check in, show cuts, and of course, as you get through the process into the editing room and you're beginning to show the movie, you of course are having those conversations with the producers, sometimes the test audience, the moderator, and of course your director to find the movie together. So yeah, it's a very hands-on process.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.